Welcome to an episode of Dolly Tales. If you're new to my channel or you've just never watched one of these, this is our doll memory series. I haven't filmed one of these videos in 2 years because honestly I'm not really comfortable just sort of sitting and talking to the camera. But Colleen had created a thumbnail for our vlog series, Dolly Diaries, and it was Halloween themed, but I just don't have enough footage to put out an episode before Halloween. So I thought of a way we could repurpose the photo and make it like seasonally appropriate. So Tales from the Crypt, it sounds a lot creepier than it is. But these are dolls that we got on Halloween or around Halloween.
Right after Mom passed away for Halloween 2002, Dad said to us, "We really don't feel like taking you guys trick-or-treating." Because, when I was in 9th grade and she was in 6th and he felt we were getting too old and he just didn't really feel like going out anyway.
How was I too old? You were trick-or-treating at 11.
Yeah, well, he was tired.
I'll be honest though, I always felt like over Halloween, I didn't like other kids, I didn't like dressing up, and one of the things I wanted to be for Halloween were all like Batman and like guy costumes.
That were too big for her?
Yeah, and then when I did get to be my dream of Batman, all the little girls made fun of me, so.
Yeah, and I remember vividly the last Halloween we went trick-or-treating, I was a cowgirl, and some boys from my school, they were like laughing at me for my cowgirl outfit, and I started like shouting at them. Dad said to us, "How about this? If I buy you each a doll and candy, will you not go trick-or-treating?" And I was like thinking, dude, he could have made this deal like years and years ago.
So I actually had my first doll from 2002. I'm pretty sure we got them on Halloween. This is Style and Pup Barbie from 2002. She dated 2002. She must have been a really new thing when I got her. I remember wanting this doll because she was brunette and she came with a dog, and I've always liked animal themed things. And I named her Alicia. I have all of her stuff, and I did play with her quite a bit considering how many dolls I had at that point.
Dad got me a Kid Core Katie doll that I basically just wanted to put her clothes on my Kid Core Katie doll. But I don't remember which one it was because he bought me like literally I counted like 50 Katies like from what I have like parts of left. He bought me close to 50 Katies in a short span of a few years. So most of them I don't have vivid memories of getting because I just wanted them for the clothes.
For Halloween 2003, the year after, Colleen once again has the same problem.
Same problem. Don't know which Katies.
So usually...
I'm guessing he got me more than one though.
The next year we were at KB Toys, and I'm sorry, one of my dolls is undressing herself. Because the Velcro on her outfit is so worn out for me.
Tell Shelly played with this doll a lot.
So, her boobs.
She's being very indecent.
Sandra does not want to be in this video. I got Spot Scene Teresa.
Who I actually did use in the thumbnail.
Yes, and Salon Surprise Barbie. I got 2 of them because KB Toys had some sort of sale. I think it was like buy one get one free, or they were all half off. She's just taking her clothes off for you.
It's not that kind of video.
The first time I saw Salon Surprise Barbie in stores was actually at KB Toys, not the same one in the mall where these 2 came from. But my mom wouldn't let me buy her because she said I had, quote, a lot of dolls that looked like her. And I did not, okay? I did not have many dolls with this 1999 body mold. I think I maybe had 2. And I did not have any dolls that had pink in their hair. And I just thought she was the coolest thing ever, so when I saw her on sale, I had to get her. Although I did feel guilty because Mom had told me some years before I couldn't have this doll.
And for the record, we definitely still don't have anyone else who looks like her because I could see her through the sides of the container and knew who I was getting.
I sadly don't have other dolls from her line. It's just her. No duplicates either.
Yep.
See, Mom?
She's still the only one.
I named her Cassandra, but I really like this Spot Scene Teresa doll, who I named Sabrina. And I wasn't a huge fan of her outfit, so she didn't wear this much. But my storyline that night, and part of why I remember I got them for Halloween, is because I made them witches. I didn't usually do supernatural stuff, but apparently...
They were sisters, they were witches.
Yes, and I think that's why I named her Sabrina, like Sabrina the Teenage Witch, because I used to watch that show. And
which Mom also didn't approve of.
Yeah, Mom didn't want us watching that show. She thought we believed in magic.
I do believe in magic.
But I remember that we did like some kind of musical scene
Yes.
with Colleen's Aladdin doll named Leroy.
Yes.
And I don't remember, Katie had a new outfit, that much you recall.
Yeah.
But we just don't know what outfit.
And Cassandra, Sabrina, and Leroy were flying around like they were airborne and singing and enchanted by magic. And then she got bored of Sabrina by like that night or the next. Took Sabrina's outfit, put it on Jasmine, and Jasmine suddenly had magical powers. I remember they were flying around unicorn.
How did Jasmine fit in this? Jasmine's got the bosom.
I'm guessing she fit it.
I know Jasmine was on this body at some point. Because it was the closest to her skin tone, and I wanted Jasmine to wear all my new Barbie clothes. So I don't know if we got anything for 2004 or 2005. I'm definitely thinking no. We did continue the tradition as adult collectors. So 2011, Dad was actually in the hospital.
Yes.
I didn't remember that. She did. However, on 2012, this is like the most dolls we got for Halloween. Now they're all technically my dolls because they're Bratz, but this was when I first got really back into buying Bratz in store. I had bought some in 2011, but by 2012, I was like fully invested. And the two from one of these lines, it was that particular line that made me just like bananas about
Yeah.
it. So we stocked these dolls because they were expensive. And
It was like an obsession.
Like we waited until Toys R Us had a sale. And it was buy one, get one half off on all of the Bratz. So when I got there, my initial plan had just been to buy these two. They are the Bratz boutique dolls. We have Sasha and Chloe. I already had Yasmin and Jade at that point. I had gotten them at Kmart actually on different occasions, and Jade was also on some sort of sale. But I wanted to finish the line because A, I knew that they had saran hair, at least most of them did. I knew that they were really great quality, and I also wanted their extra clothes. And the dolls were very pretty. So my plan had been to just go to the store and buy these two, and then one would be half off. And they were kind of expensive. They were like $32 or something like that. When we were there, in the toy aisle, I think you found her, didn't you?
She was behind a box. Odelia from the Masquerade line. And Shelly had been wanting her, and we'd actually checked even that Toys R Us before and not found her.
Yeah, Dad was gonna buy me her, I think.
I think he was, yeah. Because Shelly really likes Egypt, so it was really special finding her on Halloween, so of course we had to get her too.
And because it was buy one, get one half off, we decided, well, we want to bring both boutique dolls to the register, because you know how those sales work. It's the cheapest item, they'll mark by 50% off, and I wanted to make sure I got one of the boutique dolls on sale. So I believe I sent Colleen to the register with the two boutique dolls, and then I went to a different register. I picked out Totally Tattooed Sasha because she was really pretty. I loved her edgy vibe. I love dolls that are styled like this, and I didn't have a lot of Sasha dolls that were brand new at that time, and she's harder as a character. Sasha's usually the hardest to find because she tends to be in her own assortment, and Toys R Us always had loads of Sasha dolls because they would buy the Sasha assortment. So I ended up with Sasha, and she's really beautiful quality. My doll has saran hair. And Odelia over here, it felt really special because we had checked that Toys R Us a million times for her, and she just turned up. I think she was the last one.
Yeah.
The last one from the actual like intentional tradition of buying on Halloween was the year after in 2013. Once again, I was keeping up a lot with the Bratz dolls that were coming out, and MGA had a bunch of leftovers from 2008 of two boys dolls. There was on Boys Really Rock Eaton and Winter Boys Cameron. So they weren't like re-releases. These were actually the original dolls from 2008 that MGA just had a lot of extras of. I have like a lot of leftovers, so I'll send them to discount stores. But they happened to be at Toys R Us this time around, and I had the like Eaton. I had gotten him used years before. So I bought Cameron, and he wasn't on any sort of sale, but it was very exciting. We have two that we ordered on Halloween. And it just so happened to work out that way. So this was many years later. This
was 2020.
2020, yeah.
Found them.
Well, first, what were we doing?
What were we doing?
We were at the table, picking out on candy, bored.
Ah, yes!
We had a bunch of the doll books out, and this was right around the 10-year anniversary mark of when I first started getting back into dolls after a break.
Yes.
It was I didn't buy any dolls until the beginning of 2011, but I had gotten doll books that fall of 2010. And we were looking through the books, and I'm sure if you've watched my channel, you know it was Disney dolls that broke me and made me want to get back into collecting again. So we had Margot Rana's Disney doll book out specifically.
See, I forgot.
So that's what we're doing, and I think, was it you that was on eBay?
I think it was you that was on eBay, but I can't remember.
Okay, so Margot Rana, who wrote the Disney doll identification and price guide, she actually has an eBay store. And I had found her stuff by accident in the past, and I had always like wanted to buy something from her personal collection because it was her book that made me like fall back in love with dolls. And I had other books before then. I had the Ultimate Barbie book that I would flip through. But it was a good combination of an excellent author with really good like loose photos of dolls, and it was Disney. So
yeah, it was like the trifecta.
At that point I had a lot of the dolls that were in her book because I had been collecting them for the past 10 years. But she had this wedding Snow White who was still boxed at that point. She was like a little bit more money than what other people were asking for. So I think like this doll at the time was going for about $20 boxed on eBay, and Margot's was like $30 or $35. But I wanted one from Margot's collection.
And she really wanted, like, she didn't just want some random doll, she wanted like someone from a movie that meant something to her, and Snow White's one of her favorite collections.
Yeah, my dad used to buy me a lot of Snow White dolls.
And because she already had so many Snow White dolls, there weren't a lot that Margot had that Shelley didn't already have.
Or they were like just repackaged.
Yeah.
Like classic Snow Whites. And I always wanted this wedding doll. I just never like pulled the triggers. I decided to buy her, and I thought that it would be appropriate to look and see if there was a doll that Colleen would want.
Beauty and the Beast was actually my first Disney movie. This is Applause Belle, who I found out about through the Margot Rana Disney doll book. And I actually like fell in love with the doll and thought she was just really cool. She's basically a repackaged classic Belle in a like really bright yellow dress. But like for some reason I was always obsessed in this doll. So it ended up being really cool that I got the doll from the book.
She was really affordable too.
Yeah, she was actually a wicked good deal, and I was really excited about it. But Beauty and the Beast was actually my first Disney movie, and I had it almost as long back as I can remember, and I watched it all the time on a VHS tape. And even when I was little, I must have watched it so many times that it wore out early, because it was the beginning of the movie. It always looked like it was like black and white and raining. And then years later, when Shelley and I popped in the DVD and it wasn't black and white and raining, I said, oh, that was just a defect on my VHS.
We ordered them, and then because we got them both from her, she actually gave us like a refund on the shipping because she combined the shipping. She was so nice. She was like one of the nicest eBay sellers ever. I remember when she messaged us within like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
She's like, thank you so much. I really appreciate your business. She was having car problems. And it's funny because she messaged exactly like how she writes in her book. She was just like such a sweetheart. And then Colleen messaged her back, we just wanted you to know that your book was the reason we got back into
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, I hope you girls are having lots of fun. And it was like,
she was
really cool. And I'm not like a fangirl sort. Like someone really famous could be like next to me and I wouldn't even acknowledge them because like they're just people. Like I don't care, but it meant a lot to me.
Because like she got us like back into collecting and everything, and she was like so nice and down to earth and so cool.
And her like quirky writing style really inspired like how I write about my dolls. That's why I do like little fun facts and stuff on all my dolls on Flickr, was because of her. So it's really special having them, and I did open Snow White. So the last dolls we got on Halloween
last year, 2021.
So we had an eye doctor's appointment scheduled that October. Normally we stop in at Savers, that's like nearby. It's literally on the way back home. That was the plan, but then
that whole day was a fiasco. I mean, even before we were in the city, I called to confirm my appointment time, only to find out that supposedly my appointment had already happened the week before, but I missed it. And Shelley's such a good bookkeeper. Like, she's like Marianne in the Babysitters Club. Like, she never makes a mistake. So I knew it wasn't actually her fault, it was theirs, and I was so mad. And then I got a different eye doctor. I mean, she was nice, but it wasn't the guy I usually have.
Very good looking eye doctor. The secretary was really rude to you on the phone.
The secretary was rude on the phone until I actually started crying, like full blown crying, and then she got me in that day with that other doctor. So I was already having a horrible day. And Savers was kind of like what I was holding on to. When she picked me up, she said the Jeep was making some weird sound or something.
The light was coming on. The sensor for the oil pump was going.
That's what it was.
But I didn't know it kept, the oil pressure would like drop every time we'd stop. And the light would start beeping and flashing. So while she was in the eye doctor, I was like on the phone with my uncle asking him questions about it. And he was waiting for us at his house that was like, 40 minutes away or something.
So we couldn't go to Savers.
She was upset when I told her. I said, I don't want to be rude, and I also really need to get this fixed, or how are you going to get to work tomorrow?
I was like, but I just want to go to Savers.
So Pauline gets really petulant when she doesn't get her.
Very petulant, like
if we can't go to the flea market or something, she has tantrums. So,
very bad. To appease me, she said, when the Jeep is fixed. Now
after I get my oil changed, because I need.
Yes, and I took this extremely literally. To me, this meant like literally the moment the Jeep was fixed and oil changed. So Saturday, the day before Halloween, wasn't that when you got the oil change?
Yes.
I was like, okay, so let's go to Savers. And she's like, what? And I'm like, well, you said after we got the oil change, we could go to Savers. And she's like, well, I didn't mean like literally. And I'm like, no, you said after we got the oil change.
She wouldn't relent.
So I just kept bothering her about it. So then I was like, because I wouldn't stop bothering her about it, she finally caved it. It was like really wet out. It like started pouring and the weather was terrible. I shouldn't have made her drive in that weather. Just started collecting Cabbage Patch dolls like a few months earlier, and we round over to the toy section and we see these cute little Cabbage Patch feet.
Yes. And we did look through the regular bags of fashion dolls, but they didn't have any ones of like interest, except there were these two mini Ariel dolls. This is the Dancing Princess Ariel, who was sold with Mini Eric. And then this is a Disney Store like wardrobe Ariel. And they didn't have their clothes, so I made them these. I have a transformation video on this haul from Savers. It's called Cabby Fever. I saw from a distance.
Oh, I'll get her out. You can hold her up.
Was Nala. She's a Kusa, so she's supposed to be a lion. She's got her little tail. I saw her leg and part of the tail, and I knew from like the distance of 30 feet or so, I was like, it's a Kusa. And I had wanted a lion Kusa, and when I picked her up, she was actually wearing her Kusa dress, like her little apron thing. And
I said, Shelly, this Kusa is female.
And I was like, how do you know? And I hadn't even processed that she was in her outfit. I had specifically wanted a bald baby that had like the tuft. And I saw Landon over here. I was really excited because he had this little lemon tuft and cute little brown eyes and the binky mouth. So I was all pro get Landon.
But I was kind of pro save them all. I mean, I was just so sad when I saw them like
they were horrible,
dirty and mostly naked. Like some of them had different scraps of clothing on, but they were dirty and mostly naked. It just made me feel sad, so I couldn't leave them, so I made excuses to take every single one. So, first of all,
I think that was like the most money we ever spent in Savers.
Let's talk about Renata. I mean, I love Renata. She was kind of like upside down, so you could like see her face like that on the shelf, and Shelly walks right by, and I'm like, what? Why are you leaving that baby? Like, why are you leaving her? And Shelly goes, because she looks just like Eveline and Jenny.
And P.S. Colleen dressed her thinking she was Jenny, who by the way has the tooth head mold, my favorite head mold. And she dressed her as one of the twins. Case-made, she looks a lot like
she does look just like, but I mean, she's just, how could you not love Renata? She got this like potato face, and she's one
of our oldest ones from 83.
Yeah, she's one of our only ones from 83. She's adorable, and I just love her. So of course I vouch for her. And then
I was on the fence about this one. This is Tamanella.
Yes.
She has the tooth head mold. She looks a lot like our Joy Irene, but Joy Irene has like mustard yellow hair and the tooth head mold. And she was
very lemon.
She was just like really nice looking compared to the other ones, and I couldn't resist the toothy face.
She is really nice. She cleaned up really well. She's like a really good dresser.
Can we just say, like, take a moment to appreciate that my babies have designer threads. These I got for my birthday. this past summer from Babyland.
And the last baby, so Shelly said, oh, it's the same as Sheldon. And I said, but Sheldon has green eyes. She thought, she just had this like feeling that it really was a baby we already had. This is Muffy, but she looks exactly like Murphy, except not as nice. That's why we named her Muffy, because it's another M name. She's like a very like grayish skin coloring, whereas Murphy's like very pink. She's adorable, and she's wearing a real baby sleeper from Walmart.
Those were our last Halloween dolls as adults, and they were Halloween weekend, but it was exciting.
Halloween weekend.
We were joking about how it was like when we were kids.
Yes.
Only it was cool because they were secondhand. So I hope you enjoyed meeting our Halloween friends.
Wait, there is one more Halloween friend everybody hasn't met yet.
There is one.
The most important Halloween friend.
It's really dark, but it's the chinchilla.
It's Clyde.
Come out, Clyde.
Come out and say hello.
Come out into the light. Come into the light. This is Clyde, our chinchilla. We will have had him for 5 years on Halloween because we got him on Halloween night, 2017.
And he's my favorite Halloween baby.
He's really cute. He's fresh. He's got an attitude, but we love him and he's the best. Poe, we did not get on Halloween. That's because if you've watched my channel a long time, you'll remember we adopted Clyde and Charlie together, but Charlie sadly passed away from medical issues, and that's how we ended up with Poe.
You're so friendly.
So I hope you enjoyed this episode of Dolly Tales, and until next time, love your dolls, love your chinchillas, love yourself, and love your life.